Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Rosie Rochelle, and if you're new, welcome. Hit that like button, subscribe to the new family. If you've made it here, this is my very first video. From the title, as you can see, how I found out I was pregnant. If you made it to this video from my introduction video, I appreciate you. If you want to learn more, continue watching. So, okay, how I found out I was pregnant. Okay, so let's double back a little bit. Me and my honey, we've been trying for a little bit now. We had a miscarriage in April, okay? And that was really hard to go through because, you know, nobody's never thinking about that, right? So, I was about 13 weeks when I found out what was happening, and it was out of my control, of course, and everything had already taken its toll, and so it was like a miscarriage is what it was explained to me. And so we just kind of had to wait around to see what was going to happen or when the baby was going to pass through, and that was really hard. But I had talked to the doctor, and my doctor told me that, you know, after miscarriage you can still get pregnant really fast. Everybody's body's different, but most times you can get pregnant really fast, right? So she told me that it was safe to try again, you know, once everything was back to normal. So any ladies who have, you know, experienced the miscarriage, my heart goes out to you. I understand completely what you're going through, okay? But just know that if you're trying, it can happen. It can happen, and it will happen again, okay? So don't be discouraged or anything like that, because that was me at one point, thinking, you know, we go through a lot of mental thoughts and not knowing if we can get pregnant again or if it's something extra wrong with your body that you don't know about, things like that. But just my recommendation is to just relax and not think too much about it. You know, I believe in God, so I pray about it, and I recommend that as well, just to, you know, because I feel like once you pray about it, you don't have to carry that extra, you know, brick on your shoulder, on your chest, if you know. So yeah, that's my recommendation. But for me, we got pregnant pretty fast after that. It didn't take no time at all. I found out I was pregnant actually in July. I found out I was pregnant, and so I found out July 1st. But prior to that, right, we've been trying, you know, kind of, sort of, not really, but we knew like we wanted to try again, and so we weren't taking any precautions to like not get pregnant, right? So the weird thing is, I don't know, this might be TMI, but I had a cycle that month, the month prior. I had a cycle, and I knew something was up because my cycle was like not regular. Like it, you know, I was off within 2 days, no lie, and that never happens. So I was like, okay, what the heck? Like my period, it came in and it came out literally like within 2 days. So I was like, okay, yeah, something's kind of fishy about that, right? So all month, you know, I didn't think too much about it. It was in the back of my head, but I didn't think too much about it going forward. And I started feeling kind of, you know, my body just was feeling weird. I felt like this little tingly feeling at some point, and so I was like, you know what, maybe I should take a pregnancy test. So this was June. I took a test, and so I was like, the test came back negative. I took 2. Both of them came back negative, okay? So I was like, okay, I'm not pregnant. So I'm like, I'm waiting for my cycle to come, right? So I'm preparing, getting everything ready, like, you know. So I'm waiting day by day. And I usually it's like the end of the month for me. So the end of the month comes, and I'm like, okay, each day it goes, you know, the 27th comes, the 28th comes, and I'm like, I still haven't come on yet. That's kind of weird, you know. I'm like, well, it might be late, because mind you, you know, we just went through a whole miscarriage situation, and I know sometimes your cycle can be off after that, from what the doctor was telling me. So I was like, maybe that had something to do with it, so I didn't think a whole lot about it. But I'm still calculating each day, right? So I'm going like day by day, like, okay, I'm still waiting for it. And so it never came. So, and you know, they say on the pregnancy box, some of them, like, you can take 5 to 6 days sooner than your missed period or your next period or whatever. So that's what I did. At least I thought, right? So I took the test about 4 days before my cycle was supposed to come, and it said, I took 2, it said not pregnant, okay, on both. So I was like, okay, like I said, waiting on the period to come, never came. So I was like, okay, that's I don't know, that's weird, because you know, now July approaches. So I'm like, and then there was so much happening, because in July, like, we had a really bad storm, and all the lights, like the entire area was out of lights, like no electric nowhere in this area. So we were in the dark. We had no air, no lights, no nothing. So it was a lot happening already. That was a frustrating time. And so on top of this, I'm trying to wait for my cycle to come, and I'm like, what the heck, like, what's happening? So I decided to take another test, because I'm like, okay, my cycle's really late, or like something's happening, because it's, you know what I mean, like, I'm in the back of my head though, I'm still thinking about the cycle I had prior, which was within 2 days. It was done within 2 days. So I was like, I don't know, let me just take another one. Took another one 4 days after the last time. Okay, it wasn't even a whole week from the time I took the first 2 to the time I took the third one. The third one comes back pregnant as heck, okay? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, because it literally just said I wasn't pregnant 4 days before that. So I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's so weird, you know? So it's like, well, maybe I'm gonna just take another one. So I went and bought a whole nother test. It was a whole different type of test. So it was a digital one, because I'm like, okay, you know, sometimes the ones with the lines and the plus and the minus and all that stuff, it could be confusing sometimes. So I'm like, let me just get the digital one, and I'm sure it could just tell you, hey, yes or no. So I took a digital one. Pregnant as heck. Pregnant as heck. I'm like, how though? Like, how? Because it literally just said I wasn't 4 days ago. So my body worked its magic. It definitely did, and that's how I found I was pregnant. And so my baby, my husband, he comes, and because he was gone at the time that I took the test, because I didn't think that it was gonna come back positive, right? So I'm like, I just wanted to be sure. Like, I don't know, I was just kind of like, let me just see, because that's weird, because I still haven't come on my period, you know, like, what the heck is happening? So yep, I took it, and I showed him when he came back home. I'm like, babe, look at this. So he was, of course, he's super excited, you know, this is something we've been wanting for a while. And so we're like kind of looking at each other like, wait, what? Like, he's happy, I'm kind of confused, like, you know, I'm happy but confused at the same time. So he's like, take another one, take another one. So that's when I ended up going to get a whole nother one, and yep, that one came back pregnant as heck too. And mind you, we still are in the dark. As a matter of fact, we were in the dark for about 4 days